What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here, and actually super excited to talk about this. I did not top with this list. This is Quan Lee. If you're familiar, he's kind of like, I almost want to say like an off-meta king, low-key. If I remember correctly, he's like topped with quite a few, like, not exactly the most, and I think even one event, not even like with the most tier 0 deck type vibe. But yeah, he just topped with Animal Shanks. I actually played against the Animal Shanks, and I'm going to hard assume it was a friend of his because the list seems very familiar based off of what we played. But maybe not. I played him, I think, round 8 at like 7-1 and took the W, and I don't know how they finished afterwards, but the deck was very interesting to play against, and I was really rooting for the guy. And so shout out Quan. This is the deck list, and we'll kind of talk about, and just like my experience, of course, with like the mirror and just kind of what you can expect. We of course see these animal characters. We see this like engine kind of spliced in every now and again. For those unfamiliar with Shanks, of course, you may activate this effect when your opponent attacks. Give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters power minus 1000 during this turn. And why that is important is Shanks, your big character, is your chopper, which presents you another body both on play and when attacking. So once you turn it sideways, your opponent wants to swing organically into it to try to take a card, and if they cannot like remove this body, you're going to get more value and continue to recur that. And with that free 1k counter, if they play into their curve at all, they cannot answer this card, which is why this card is so interesting. My biggest wonder, of course, is how many Doflamingo did he play against, because of course they can just hit it with a law, bounce this back, but you still get the on play value, so there is that merit to it. But we'll go ahead and just go through this card by card. So we've got Chopper, Blocker. This one is, I understand it. The big thing that I liked about this deck the most when I was playing against it was just it had more blockers, which is something that, like, even though I play 7, I wish I had, or I play 6. I play 6 blockers. I wish I had more. And this really just kind of brings that all together. This list plays a total of 11 blockers. So when I was playing against it, they could continually block up, which I think is also really good for Doflamingo, being able to go more wide and establish these threats. But also, you get the Dawn X2 when attacking, give it to one of your opponent's characters minus 3000 power during this turn. So if you get to keep this body, you turn it sideways, it's going to do a huge minus. And then you can also, of course, combine that with our Beckman and trash a 9k. And then we, of course, have Sanji. Classic. You love this card. It's a 2K. We've got Nami. 3 Nami searchers, not going for 4. Of course, all the choppers and then any straw hats are going to be searchable, including things like Bad Manners Kick Course and the Red Hawk. And then Newgate. One of Newgate. I totally agree with this. I played one Newgate. Newgate is a one of. I really love this card, especially against like Doflamingo. You play this against Doflamingo when they have to go for lethal. It makes their math so much worse because each swing requires a minimum of a 2 Dawn requirement, or, you know, the 1. Their 6Ks require 1, but it requires a decent amount of Dawn just to command a 1K from you, and you, of course, have your free leader 1K as well. So it makes it very, very strong. I love this card. It's a very sacky card. It's really good against BY as well if they can't answer it, because it's a 10k body. And then we, of course, have the super spot build Duck Squad. This card was super interesting, and I think like every list plays it. It's optimized for VV, because you give up to one of your active leaders minus 5000 during this turn. Return this card to your hand at the end of the turn when attacking. So you can turn it sideways, swing it into something else, or you can attach Dawn and swing, and then get it back at the cost of losing your leader swing. I chose to answer this in the mirror because I was like, okay, well, like, you just swing 5 and then I leader ability. Well, so your leader is worthless anyways. You minus 5, you're just going to get a 2k. And so I opted to answer this for that reason. But I find it really interesting. I wonder what other matchups, maybe even like RP Luffy, that this might come up in, because you do have to give the minus, or like what is ideal when you're playing this out. Are we just keeping it as a body? Is there any turn that makes sense to use to get that 2k if you play it off of the chopper, or if it just takes a swing off of you? But the big thing is, if they just swing 5 into it, your leader ability would just organically save it. So really interesting here. I get why it's like the 2k and it's a playable body because you don't want to whiff. but I'd love to know more of this card's use. And we're going to run some games, so we'll try to get a feel for it. And then, of course, we see 2 Dragon. I think it makes sense just from a space perspective and having to prioritize everything else. Personally, maybe I even go down on a Shanks, but with all the defense you have, you can play Shanks very healthy. So you really have that going for you. So maybe Dragon isn't just as needed, but Dragon is a huge card, especially in games like the Mirror. So I think 2 is okay. I personally really like 3. Then we, of course, have Bokuwa Doctor, Tony Chopper. Your turn, on play and when attacking, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. This is the key card of the engine. And from them, play up to 1 animal with a power of 4,000 power or less as rested. Then you may place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So, essentially, if you're not playing Lucci or they don't play Law, you either play this, boom, I'm going to spit out a body. And then next turn, I'm going to swing, play another body, and you can get cards like Hiking Bear, which allow you to attach one if this card sticks. And then you get to give it to one of your characters other than this plus 1,000 power. So you can attach one here. He becomes a 4, and then you can give another one, which would be ideally a 4, make it a 5. And so it now has a swing. And so you get 2 down for the price of 1 and all on a 2K. And so it's things like that, and it's playing bodies without you losing value. So you play this, but then you get to continually play out bodies. Yes, they can't attack, and they are slightly weakened, but we do have ways to like kind of circumvent that. So very interesting. Of course, the animal engine, you know, once they start going really wide, you know, you've got your Hiking Bear, you attach one, your character becomes stronger. And then, like in Zoro specifically, you know, you attach one here, you buff one, then you attach one to your leader, and then Hiking Bear's a 5. So you don't have that super dawn efficiency, but when we're playing super low like this, really interesting. And if some of you know Quan, I would absolutely love to kind of talk with him more about this build, because I'm like, you know, it tempts me to play it for next weekend. And of course we have Rayleigh, only 3, which I find also very interesting, because I wonder how the Doflamingo matchup is, considering almost every card in your deck is law bounceable, and how that kind of goes, especially because like all the blockers. So this is, of course, a key card for playing against Dofi. If Dofi didn't exist, I would probably only play 3, but because Dofi exists, I want to see it, and I play 4, but maybe 3 is all you need, and maybe it has a phenomenal Doflamingo matchup. The big thing, of course, right, with Doflamingo is this deck plays a lot of blockers, so if you can make it to playing one of these, Doflamingo gets insanely weak as a whole, and then continues if you can establish another one, because then all their characters are -2 and they're swinging with 3s and 4s, and it just costs, they can either build board or commit a lot to swings, and they become very inefficient. So it's really interesting, and I would just love to know the thought process, and maybe I can get some games against Doflamingo here to really try to get a feel for this list. But of course, 4, I think 4 is fine, 4 standard. Now this is what I really like. I like the option of going Rayleigh over Lucky Roo. We of course have our fair share of cheap blockers in this list, and so I think it makes sense to not have to play Lucky Roo, but also Rayleigh is one of the rare, like again, we have this Chopper, which is going to play cards from the top of our deck, kind of like Doflamingo, so we don't lose value establishing threats there. But then also when we establish cards like Rayleigh, it replaces himself and generates value, but also helps us cycle and find our pieces if needed. And I'm a big fan of this card just overall. So, like, I was like, I wish I could just play 4 of this, but Lucky Roo is still, again, really good, especially if they don't see Law, and then also against Purple Luffy. So I wonder how this deck overall fares against Purple Luffy, if it does really well, because it goes super wide. And you also, of course, have that Chopper minus really goes to distance. Sometimes I think a lot of people tend to underestimate that. But yeah, I think Rayleigh, at 4, especially because you play these characters rested, but you get a free block with Rayleigh, which could protect those characters as well. So I totally understand this decision. And, of course, we got Big Benjamin Beckman. Trash is a 6K. Trash is a 9 with this Chopper. Trash is a 9 with this Chopper, which I truthfully really like. I think there's even the argument just to play this card alone to boost with this, because you're not losing a body like you would with Otama, and there is no Otama in this list. So this is your inherent minus. So I'm really intrigued by that fact just overall. Fascinating. But yeah, trashing a 9 can be huge, especially against like BY. So I really wonder how the BY matchup is too. Because yes, most of our blockers are poppable by Luffy and like what the strat is there. And then we've got Tony Chopper, 3 of little 1-drop blockers. I really like this too, because it's very cheap and affordable to establish the blocker. It's very cheap and affordable to establish the blocker. And then we have 1 Brook 2K, just another searchable Nami target. And we have 2 Red Hawk, not running the 4, only playing 2, but still playing it. I think this card is still incredibly good. It keeps you alive, especially with all of these, again, like these you can double blocker up, leave up 2 Red Hawk, like whatever you need to try to make it to the next turn so you can win. And then Bad Manners Kit Course, playing 3 of those, which I think is fair because of just the total amount of bricks you have. Brick, and then it turns like these into usable things as well. But yeah, that is the deck list. Huge congrats to Quan Lee. Absolutely crushed it. First person, I think, with the animal build to see success. So let's go ahead and jump into some games. See how it does against Lucci. I'm going first. I don't like any of these. I'm gonna maul. I think we want the 1 chopper, but he does not want us, so that's cool. I think I'm still gonna play this chopper just to get. And the crazy part is I don't even want to swing on this Lucci, but I'm gonna swing on this Lucci. He gave me a 1K. That's crazy. I guess it makes sense. Now he has trash fodder for a Lucci. If I didn't swing on him, he wouldn't have trash fodder for a Lucci and no way to answer this body. He's swinging 8. Oh, and he milled a gecko. We're in there. I'm going to take it. Thank you for the card. Spandine. See what he finds. We found a Robert Lucci. So, I'm going to be swinging with my body for sure. TBD what else I want to do. Do I want to bait him out, or do I just want to go ahead and establish this? I think I might just establish this Rayleigh, but like I really want to swing with this. That's tough. I think I still just establish the Rayleigh. It's going to cost him something to be able to remove both. So, he's got 6 cards in trash. He'll go 8. It's not going to be the easiest. I'm going to go ahead and just play Rayleigh. If I'm accepting the loss of the chopper, sadly. I could have blocked. Maybe I should have, but I did want the extra card. But if I had just blocked, he couldn't take this chopper this turn, but this turn he can take the chopper. He's going to go, oh, he has to go 6 to minus. I think I'm going to block with the chopper. We'll see. We'll see. What's his move? I imagine he's going to mark the chopper. He marked the chopper. He can still play. What's his name? I don't think he wanted to do that though. Did he have enough targets? 1, 2. No, he didn't have enough targets to play. No, he did. Interesting. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna force him to do it. I'm not gonna take the block. No, I am gonna take the block. I'm gonna take the block. I'll fall for it. So play Lucci. Yeah, he would have answered it. But now he's wasted the Lucci, and we can now establish this guy because we're on 7. I'm gonna play out this guy, and then yeah, we can play Huggin' Bear if we wanted. Could also play this potentially. I don't know why he's countering out though. I just don't know that makes sense. Let's go 6 of life. Still countering. I don't think that's correct. That's what I get for not playing ranked, but there's just nobody. I wasn't getting anything good on ranked either. Well, now we have Fordon. Kind of want to play a hiking bear, but I also don't want to burn my resources. But the wider I am, the harder it is for them to answer. I did turn my Rayleigh sideways, though. Gecko turn is huge. I mean, Rebecca this. They could remove one body, but they get a Gecko, which is huge. But I think it's important to turn the Rayleigh sideways. We go 5 here. I don't have any 1Ks, which is also just weird, which means I can't counter efficiently. I'm going to not use this, but I will give you this 2K. Again, I really want to know more about this card. But being wide, the more once one body sticks, it essentially, I'm going to establish larger threats, and it becomes harder for Lucci to answer it. I can also KO Gecko with this and this. I can't use him and this at the same time, though, because I'm going to 9. But spitting out a dragon, establishing another body with this chopper, if possible, is going to be gigantic. He needs to answer this chopper. Oh, he's going to Tempest kick. Okay. Jack is really nasty here. Jack is a big problem for this deck. I think Jack and Newgate are both really, because they essentially are the same thing. It's free KO. Interesting. Okay. I'm still gonna save this for some reason. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't save it anymore. But now they're behind? Okay. Sure. I want to play this, but I don't want to put Lucci in their trash either. So I think my play is I'm going to play this. I'm going to minus this by 3, but I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm going to minus this by 2, and I'm going to KO here, and I'm going to turn him on the 2. Okay. I'll go here. And 4. I'll go here. Lucci's still weak again. Didn't want to put him in the trash. There's 2 Geckos, but he also doesn't have Lucci in trash. And if I put Lucci in trash, it facilitates him a means to do that. And Lucci at 3K is relatively weak. Going here. Ooh. I don't really have anything to boost. I don't hate the idea of it. No, I'm gonna not. But again, every body that sticks matters against Lucci, which is super important because it's one, like, Lucci will commit to swinging later just because, like, are swinging heavier. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Ooh, that's exactly what I want to see. Perfect. Perfect. But yeah, you really want to be careful with how you still know Lucci, so he can't just like KO anything without it being expensive. Yeah. Now he has to play Suru. Yep. So each one of these times, it's just a little bit more expensive for him. And we're okay with that. And I think this time, because again, still no Lucci and trash, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go 5 at life. Or you know what? I'm going to go 5 at Brook. Let's go 5 at Brook. I still don't like the Brook, because this is an extra minus, and it's a KO facilitator. So we'll go 6 at Brook. See how you really feel. Okay, sick. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to go here. Yep, and I'll pass. Now all their cards are inherently weaker as well. And again, no Lucci and trash. And they're using minus events in an ineffective way. Go ahead. Yeah. If we lose Rayleigh at this point, it's fine. Yeah. I figured he was gone. Whew, 15 is crazy. I can go 5. It's 15, 17. Sure. Yeah. I do that. 15. Ooh. I'll do that. Oh, look at that. We get the blocker. We love that. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm going to go 12 here. Yep. And then still no Lucci and trash, but this Lucci on board at this point does present me a threat, so we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go here, 7. It does put Lucci in trash, but my board is really wide, so I think I'm just okay with that. And then I'm going to play that. I have no cards in hand, though, so it's not super ideal for me, and now he has Lucci in trash. But it's highly likely that he just gets Lucci in trash at this point. 19 cards left in deck. Like, another Gecko here is probably beyond devastating, actually. Maybe I should have just went 7 at life, because then I was at him with lethal regardless. Oof. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. Okay. Again, just very expensive. Oh, yeah, see, look, and I gave him back that Lucci, right? Like, that's the downfall. Now he gets to remove both of these. Yeah. Yeah. Now I just have to find a way to not lose. I think that's doable. Here. -3, -2 KOU. I have to swing here. And then I'll go 9 at life. He could technically go 3, 3. There's a world I lose here. 4, 4, 2, 6, 6, 7. Yeah. And take the first one. Okay, we saw 2K. We're good. Yeah. Use card action, and I'll give you a 2K. Best part about this is I can actually kind of live if I just play both of these. Yeah, but we got it. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Just because the searcher hopefully finds us the chopper and we have a 10 Shanks. But ideally I'd want to see cards like Dragon. But I want to see how the Animal Engine fares against BY Luffy. Let's go ahead and draw. We're going to go ahead and play this. Now find out what we need. We have a lot of 2Ks. I might just take this baby blocker. Yeah. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to play him, actually, because usually they like to go 8 here, so it's going to take away the value of going 8. So I'm okay with this. Oh, you see Sabo. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, again, so he's just going to get all the reason to use these searchers instead of just going 8. But it also gives him the opportunity to bottom deck these. Okay, he's going to go 7. I'm just going to go ahead and take the block. We're at 4. He goes 5. He has the Sabo. I think I'm okay if he wastes his Sabo on this. Still missing all of our curves, which is unfortunate. Shanks is really a deck, to my knowledge. The regular Shanks wants to play into its curve every turn. Missing the 6 curve is going to seem pretty underwhelming. Maybe he plays a Sabo blocker, but Punch Luffy is probably his ideal play. We're going to go ahead and minus here. Gave me the opportunity to get the blocker, but now he can just go and play Sabo and waste. And arguably, yeah, he goes ahead and plays Punch Luffy. Okay. I think we can kind of live with that. We have this as a facilitator for minus, so that's cool. I can play another one, and he can't answer both, and then I can trash it with... Can't trash it with Beckman. This thing costing 2 is so expensive. I don't like it. Go ahead and play it. Maybe Starve isn't the way this time around. I just know I typically... Depends. But yeah, he's got Punch Luffy, so... He's going to get the Punch Luffy this time as well. Get the buff. But we have the blocker, so I can use the blocker, or I can just use the swing into him. Because this Rayleigh also just will not solve this problem, and this is going to get him to awaken on his terms, which is, I think, the biggest weakness in Shanks, is being able to answer this guy. Which is why sometimes leader swings do matter. Because then, like, they're like, okay, well, if I go to 1, you might just beat me. I'm going to go ahead and take this swing. I wish I had a Red Hawk, but we don't, so. I also wish I had the swinging ones, but I don't, so. I'm going to go ahead and use ability minus, stitch one of these birds. And then if he wants to play Sabo and go down the 1, I'm completely okay with that, because then I'll just hit his face really hard. And force cards out of his hand. Okay, he's going to play Rocket Luffy. That makes sense. Lose 0 value on his end. There's the argument. The problem is this card is so weak. So I can't trash it. I can minus it, poke 1 at it. And that's about it. He's almost awakened, so he can use Raigo on his own terms. So this is pretty much worthless. Not in the greatest of spots. I can play this, but if I play this, I have to pretty much force to remove that. So maybe I just do that. Let's go ahead. We found Hug and Bear. We'll go ahead and play Hug and Bear, because we can't play this. No, put those blockers there. So we know 2 blockers are gone. We're going to go ahead, I guess. Wheel Dawn 2. And we'll go here minus. And then we can go up if needed. But this is going to force a 2K, which will be an Awakener out of his hand, which I kind of like. I could have went 7. Let's see. But then I can just go all here. It's going to be a great opportunity to get... Oh, he just gave me it. Interesting. So we're going to go ahead and play this. We're going to find... I think I want the blocker chopper, but I want the 2K a little bit more, I think. So I will take the 2K. And we have 2 up for our fake. Yeah, but we're super wide now, which again, this like lets us do a lot of attacks. Maybe I could have taken the blocker, because then I could protect the hiking bear, but I think this is okay. Probably awakens this turn. Yeah, gonna awaken this turn. Probably why I didn't want to give me the 2K. Just save it, because he probably needed both his 2Ks, and it'd be very expensive otherwise. So they're gonna go ahead and awaken. I can delay like a Gecko and force more cards out of his hand by playing this Shanks if he has to Raigo. And it forces him on a 7K leader, so there might be a play there. I imagine he's going to go Rocket Luffy, something else. Maybe it's got Baby Sabo. Okay, double Flampe is huge. Infinity Hand no Jutsu. Dawn up 2. It costs technically 3 cards, but if they play the Rocket Luffy, it only costs 2, and Rocket Luffy is going to tear my board apart. Again, while I'm interested in to see just how good this build does against BY. Because I think I played on my last... I just got 21st. I went X2 losing the final round. And one of my losses... Yeah, he's going to play that Rocket Luffy. One of my losses was... I just played 3. I played 3 BYs. I didn't lose to a BY. Yeah, I lost to Shanks and I lost to Dofi. Go 9 here. Yeah, if I played the blocker, I could save it. Now I have to give it up, and he's going to KO this. So that's overall unfortunate. Oh, he's going to go ahead and go here. Yeah, I think that makes sense. He's going to just wipe my board. Yeah, I think I just have to let it happen, sadly. Oh, he just doesn't have the Baby Luffy, I guess? Okay. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder if I should poke at his life. Maybe, maybe not. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to go here for the value. Let's see. What do we have? Nothing. Oh. That's cool. I lose all my top end. Phenomenal. That was for nothing. Let's go ahead and play here. We're going to go ahead and swing 5, 7. Let's go force him to have Rygo. And if he has it, I mean, it is what it is. But it's going to delay him another turn and cost more of those cards out of his hand. Yeah, he's going to Rygo. It's free, but now best case he can go is 7 with 2. And it's forcing him to have these babies. Yeah, can go ahead and use that for the chopper. Take it back. See, again, not really losing value as long as they use the Luffy because it regenerates the value. Now he's going to have to ditch 1, go up to 2. And then he's in a really healthy spot. I don't like these games because they're really dragged on. Doflamingo's fast 17-minute game. But I hope you all find value in this. Let's see. I kind of want to go Beckman. I kind of want to go Rayleigh. I think I go Rayleigh this turn just for the threat. But if I go Beckman, I can establish this. But, I mean, he has this. So I think I'm just going to go Rayleigh. I'm going to swing 7 on him. Try to get a card. Maybe even bot deck this Luffy. Get it out of rotation, so he has to save it. Yeah, makes sense. He's had that Sabo forever. But slowly dwindling these cards down, and we're gonna... I really wish I could have kept this Rayleigh for later. But then next turn we can go Beckman this or Beckman this. Yeah, now he's gonna start doing this. Start getting that value. If I don't, he can swing and then tribute this off, which is unfortunate. Another 10 drop here would be great. Sadly, we bot decked 1. So there's only 2 in rotation, top 20. So 1 in 10. 10% chance we draw it roughly. Yeah, he's going to load up his life. So now he's 9k with 2 life. We're going to go ahead and take this. Again, we have a lot of blockers. So we do have that going for us. I don't think I lose next turn, but we may need to play a little bit more defensively. So we're going to go ahead, do this. I'm going to go 2 here. We're going to go 10 at life. Again, he has infinity cards. And now he's going to start doing these. He's going to bring back that Luffy threat. And we have to get through 2 life once he stops doing the rotation. So he's in a really good spot. Probably just blocks this. Oh, just bot decks it. Yeah, that makes sense. Now he gets to go, yeah, Deuce's Wild on us. Give him a 2k. Yeah, he just takes it, draws the card. Regenerates that value. This card's probably the problem card. Real talk. I'm going to go ahead. I think I just have to counter out of this. Go 2k, 2k. He could swing 11 here, though, which would not be ideal either. But again, he's going to be 1. Yeah. Or it can be, yeah, he's going to be a 1 life leader. So even swinging with these isn't going to be enough to get through to him yet. We're going to go ahead and take. No trigger. And draw. Interesting. Yeah, this would be really good if I wasn't about to lose. Let's go ahead. We'll start off a little 9 swing. Yeah, I have to establish some kind of blocker threat. We'll play this, see if we can get something. This 10 drop would have been phenomenal last turn. Because then I could just full on assault. Go like 3, go like 4, 4, 2, 12, 13, 16. Okay, he gave me a card. Makes sense. You want to have all the bodies you can to beat me. We're going to go ahead and do this. Still no targets. Really doubting this engine. Go ahead and pay 1. And I'll play another 1. And He's got 2 blockers, so he's in a really good spot. I'm gonna go ahead and use my action. I'll give you 1. Oh, I was supposed to block. I already lost. Yeah. Because now he just gets the whoop pop. Yay. And now he's gonna go 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. And I lose. We'll take use trigger. Sure. But yeah, we lose. Unfortunately. Yeah, I don't really see how they, because every card, your key engine is completely poppable by these. So it's almost like you're playing Dofi. Yeah, we just lose. So that's the list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if anyone can get me in touch with Quan and we can kind of like talk about these matchups, would absolutely love to do so. And I'll see you guys in the next one.